I don't think there's any other place that has more connections and smoke than us. It doesn't mean the deal is going to get done because of all that, but I just think that it makes a lot of sense.
So DK Metcalf has requested a trade. In this video, we're going to discuss the implications for the Carolina Panthers potentially going after him. This is a clip from the weekly live stream that I do in partnership with Bleacher Report on the Bleacher Report app. I'll link down below for the full video where I discuss other receivers like T. Higgins and Brandon Ayuk as well. So make sure you guys check that out. Please hit the subscribe button also as well. I'm Aaron Duncan. I do recap and analysis of the Panthers. I'm on a quest to 20,000 subscribers. I'm all over this Panthers offseason with videos just like this and other things. So make sure you join the party and let's get some of this Panthers content.
Where history might help is our next topic, and that's DK Metcalf. Yes, DK Metcalf was granted or given, he requested a trade and was given, it's not permission, but they pretty much obliged, said they would explore options. DK, aka DK Metcalf, his mama named him DK, I'm gonna call him DK. You know what I mean? He's available. He could be that guy, man. Like, it's complicated, man, because we heard reports last week that the Packers were checking up on it, like Beyonce, and trying to see what the price was. Reports came out, and I don't know. Yeah, I gotta use the government. His mama named him DeKalen. I'm gonna call him DeKalen. Hey man, to Mars. It complicated because according to reports, and like I said, there's a lot of nasty work that goes on in this trade game, in this NFL game. You have these insiders and these reporters that get fed information, not just for smoke screens, but also negotiation tactics. So apparently the Packers had some kind of package that they don't know if they offered it officially or it was just being floated around, that they offered a first-round pick and a player, aka another wide receiver. Reports say that it was Romeo Doubs or Dontavian Wicks. Obviously, we know the Packers are planning to upgrade their wide receiver. Josh Jacobs said as much at the Super Bowl when he pretty much dunked on their whole room, saying that they didn't have that guy, but they needed a guy. That was crazy to me. He threw the whole room under the bus. But a first-round pick and a player in exchange for DK Metcalf, and I think they said a day 3 pick. That's crazy to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, because it's always tough when you add players into trades. It makes it tough because it's hard to put a certain value against player for player. You could value guys versus draft picks because they're that mystery box. So there's a lot of questions about value and objectively, subjectively, excuse me, to other players and other deals. But when you start sprinkling in players and stuff like that, it's crazy. Like DK Metcalf and a day 3 pick for a first-round pick, it Dobbs. Absolutely insane to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's saying that the Seahawks, if they're not gonna budge if they don't get that. However, that was before today when DK Metcalf requested a trade. That was before today when the Seahawks said that they would explore options. DK Metcalf is in the last year of his contract. He'll be making what, $30 million, I think, with the Seahawks. $30 million cap hit with the Seahawks currently in this year. So obviously he's going to want a deal. And that's saying that that's just hypothetically saying that all of this isn't about money in the first place. I mean, granted, they need to get under the cap. They have other free agents they're trying to sign. I know Ernest Jones is out there. They really want to sign him. And DK Metcalf had his little spats on the sideline with them last year with first-year coach Mike McDonald. So maybe they don't want him part of that culture moving forward. It could be a fresh start for both sides, right? But it's also complicated because the Patriots are lurking under. They're lurking. Apparently, they said they're not on the T. Higgins deal. Kind of halfway said that. But it's the street saying that they have been poking around about DK Metcalf, and they already have. They have picks. They have a ton of money. Obviously, the Panthers are going to try to up the ante and give better compensation. But they have Drake May, and they have $1 billion. They got like 9 figures in cap space, dog. It's really insane. So they could pay him just an ignorant amount of money. DK Metcalf had this little tongue-in-cheek joke about him not really wanting to play in Massachusetts. So it was a good organization, but he don't want to play up there. He may want to play in the South. He's from Oxford, Mississippi. He's from Oxford, Mississippi. Yeah, the streets are saying that the Patriots are talking about IU as well. And it ain't no one or the other situation. It's potentially both. Capital B, capital O, capital A, capital F, both. Which is wild to me. Because they're hot on the trail trying to do whatever they have to do for their quarterback, who they have faith in. But you got people in the fan base of my Panthers wanting to be cheap about it, saying that we're good. And I love the receivers we have. I love the weapons we have. But we ain't good. I'm going to tell you that right now. We need some help. We ain't good, but we still good, I guess. Shout out to Usher. You know what I mean? We ain't good, but we still good, right? Because, like, we need some help. We need some juice. We do. And DK Metcalf he's intriguing. Because according to Spot Track, let's bring up the trades. Trading for DK Metcalf. The new team will acquire his deal of $18 million non-guaranteed. The Seahawks will have dead cap of $21 million. He will be seeking a contract extension, of course, currently has a $27 million valuation in our system. So below that dreaded $30 million that everybody and their mama is afraid of, that they don't want to give no wide receiver, aka Panthers fans don't want to give it. So $27 million. And like I said, you would need to have that in place. I'm giving DK that 27 mil. Maybe over 3 years. I may not do 4. I may do 3. But I'm giving the 27 mil. I'm doing it. It's that desperate. I'm that desperate for it. So I'm not blinking at $27 million. It's cool. And I don't think cap space it will be the deal breaker for the Panthers. Like I said, I just think the Patriots have such a ridiculous amount of money and they're so desperate that they would be able to do that. And shout out to the comments said, I thought Vrabel wanted AJ Brown. He did. What happened is he said that maybe I think it was his first day he got hired, that they wanted a big body contested wide receiver that was strong. So in my brain, I was like, dang, they want Ted McMillan in the draft. But of course, they have a lot of issues. And the reports come out, 2 days ago or yesterday, that they kicked the tires on AJ Brown. Obviously, AJ Brown and them won the Super Bowl. AJ Brown is on the sideline reading novels, even when they're winning. AJ Brown putting out these cryptic Instagram posts saying that he only enjoyed the Super Bowl victory for 2 days because he pretty much cares about getting fed the rock. He will get fed the rock in New England. Obviously, AJ Brown has history with Mike Vrabel. And DK Metcalf fits that big body, strong 50-50 type of guy. So the Patriots will be out there, man. They'll be out there too. The Panthers may have to get creative with their compensation. I've seen people talking about a pick swap in the first and maybe a pick swap in the second. So swapping first, we move back with the Seahawks. And then we move back or move up, I think, in the first. I think if you do the trade charts, if you enter that, it nets out to a second round pick. I would take that because we keep our second. We move back. I would do it, man. I would do pick swaps. You're not losing anything, even if it's sprinkling a day 3. I do it. I do it. I want to show y'all something because a stat, because some people are maybe sleeping on DK Metcalf. And we know that the knock was Bryce Young can't throw down the field. Bryce Young unleashed the deep ball some this year. We just don't have a ton of speed. We did get Xavier Legette. And I know some people are saying that, why do we need DK Metcalf? We got Xavier Legette. They're the same guy. No, they ain't. First of all, DK Metcalf is 6'4". I'm going to put that out there. Xavier Legette is 6'1". Xavier Legette is 6'1". All right. So let's just fix that. DK Metcalf is 6'3.5", 228 pounds. He ran a 4.33. So he's bigger, stronger, and faster than Legette. He's also way better in the 50-50 standpoint. We thought that he was a DK clone, but we know his game is a little bit different. And I'm not giving up on him or Coker, but we need a lead dog because it's going to make it easier for them. Having him and Coker as potentially wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, I'm not getting into the argument of who is 2 and who is 3, but having them be sidekicks to a lead dog like DK, I think is good. Is DK Metcalf a wide receiver 1? In my eyes, yes. With us, hell yes. But look at this stat, because Bryce Young's average depth of target was one of the highest in the league. He averaged 9 yards of air yards per target, per attempt. But we really didn't have the speed to get after. Adam Thielen was one of our best deep threats. Crazy. But look at DK Metcalf. Look at DK Metcalf. This is nuts. Take that down. DK Metcalf has run a vertical route on 53.6 of his routes this season, the highest rate in his career. Metcalf has recorded 503 receiving yards on vertical routes in 2024, the third most in the NFL. Stay with me now. The third most receiving yards on vertical routes. He has gained 374 yards specifically on go routes, the second most in the league behind Justin Jefferson. Since entering the NFL in 2019, no player has more receiving yards on go routes. Nobody has more receiving yards on go routes since he's came in the league. Nobody does it better on just running straight down the field. If you just run straight down the field and tell them to go get it, nobody's got more yards than DK Metcalf. We don't have a guy like that on our team, guys. We don't. And the fact that we don't have one of those guys and we run the ball, they load the box. They put an extra safety in the box and have one safety in the middle of the field and single up our receivers on the outside and dare us to try to throw or dare us to try to run because they don't believe in our receivers. That's what they're telling us. That's what they're telling us. But if you get a guy like this, who's the most effective go routes and one of the best deep threats in the league, they have to give more help over the top. They have to put 2 safeties deep. That's going to lighten the box. And what do we want to do? We want to run the ball anyway. So being able to lighten the box, that's going to allow us to be more effective with that big offensive line, with Chuba Hubbard, with whoever we draft, or Miles Sanders. Give us more room because they can't load the box. So defenses have to defend us differently, not just opening up things for other receivers, but opening up things for the run game. The addition of DK Metcalf is very, very intriguing to me, dog. If I had to choose, it's tough. I want to get you guys' thoughts, first of all. You guys let me know what y'all think. What wide receiver would you target? Let me know. Because for me, compensation aside, it would be tough for me. But I think DK Metcalf, the history with Dave Canales, the history with him being the pass game coordinator in Seattle. Him and Bryce Young even played together in a flag football tournament. They have a little bit of history. And I don't want to hear, and I'm kind of, and this bothers me, man. I'm not gonna lie. And I may be talking to you, I may not be, if the boot fits. But I understand that DK Metcalf's preference is to be a contender. That's not scaring me off of going after him. Some people are like, oh well, he wants to go into a contender. But we can't target him. Fam. In this weak division, if we add DK Metcalf, we may be a contender if we do what we're supposed to do on defense this offseason and handle business. You know what I mean? we may be a contender if we handle our business and do what we need to do in free agency on defense and the draft. Because DK is going to open up we know our running game is one of the better ones in the league. O-line is one of the better ones in the league. Bryce Young's really coming into his own. We have some pieces with tight end and young receivers. You get a lead dog like DK, I think we become a contender. The opportunity is there. The division not that strong. Easiest way to get to the playoffs is to win the division. Right? So, like, listen, man. I'll probably have to vote DK. If Ayuk was healthy, I would probably say Ayuk, but the numbers of that vertical receiving game for DK is way too enticing, and it's something that we're missing. We got a DK, T, Ayuk in that order. That's fair. So DK, XL, and Coker is a sleepy good wide receiver core. It is. Sprinkle in Adam Thielen, the OG, triple OG, and you're really doing something. So I think DK Metcalf has to be considered, man. He has to be. He has to be. And with Dan Morgan having history with Dan Snyder, maybe they can strike up a little hometown homie discount. They've done business before. We acquired Mike Jackson last year. We saw Dan Morgan get fleeced by his homeboy, Sean, in my opinion, for that Brian Burns deal because he wanted the first. He ended up getting talked down to a second and some change. Maybe he can do the same thing with Snot. A lot of connection. I don't think anybody has any more connection than the Panthers. When you think of the connection with the front offices, having history together, so the dialogue is there. Dan Morgan got Snyder on speed dial. DK Metcalf and Bryce Young have the same agent. DK Metcalf and Bryce Young played a little flag football tournament. Really very, very buddy. Bryce was comfortable throwing him. Dave Canales was the pass game coordinator for 2 years when DK Metcalf was there. There's a lot of smoke, bro. I don't think there's any other place that has more connections and smoke than us. It doesn't mean the deal is going to get done because of all that. But I just think that it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense when you think about all the connections and opportunity, man. I think he brings an element to the group that we need. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens because tampering starts this weekend. Free agency starts on the 12th or 14th, whatever it is. I'm excited. It's going to be this offseason. The thing is, the draft is not that exciting. I mean, elite of a group, and the free agency crop is not that elite. But I think that makes it that much more interesting because guys are going to get overpaid. There's a lot of desperate teams with money that need big pieces. We need a lot of big pieces. So I'm super excited about what's going to come, man. I'm excited. I'm even over my time today because we had a lot to talk about. I appreciate everybody tuning in. DK Metcalf got 75% of the votes. DK Metcalf got 75% of the votes. The tribe has spoken. Y'all want DK Metcalf. Go get that man. Go get that man. All right. But all right, guys, y'all make sure y'all be easy. Follow me on social, of course, at UB Sports Talk on YouTube, at Dunk On Demand on Twitter. This is my time. I'll holla at y'all on the other side. Peace.